Assalamualaikum and very good morning everyone. Hi, we are students from K03 Group 6. In this video, we are going to explain about entrepreneurship and answer some questions about entrepreneurship. But first, let me introduce my group member first.
So what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship can be defined as an effort of creating a business or project while building and scaling it. And this requires an individual's attitudes and abilities in making this happen. Through entrepreneurship, someone is able to lead their dreams and career freely. The more modern definition of entrepreneurship is about solving problems by action to make change in the world. So how does entrepreneurs differ from social entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs is individuals who start up a business for making a profit. On the other hand, social entrepreneurs are people who aim to solve community-based problems. Next, entrepreneurs create a product or service that consumers have to pay for. Contrary, social entrepreneurs create a product or service that can bring benefits or positive changes in society. Therefore, as an entrepreneur, they aim to make a profit through entrepreneurial ventures, while a social entrepreneur is involved in profit-seeking business ventures in order to utilize the profits to benefit the whole community.
Hello there, I'm Zaidah Kilah, and now I will tell you 2 characteristics if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Usually, we start here. The first characteristic that you need is a really high level of proactiveness. Proactive is a favorable attitude towards formulating and controlling actions that are carried out far earlier than expected. In the context of entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur must be more aggressive in their activities and behavior in the commercial sectors. Study shows that having a proactive personality can be an indicator of entrepreneurial aspirations and success. When you think about it, this makes sense. Many qualities that make for a successful entrepreneur are typically ingrained in proactive individuals. For example, the famous entrepreneur in this 21st century is Elon Musk, whose steady stream of company from PayPal to Tesla and SpaceX reveal his constant ability to act strategically and long-term. Did you know that after a customer's tweet about lotteries at Tesla supercharging stations, Elon Musk implemented a system that would rig lotteries by charging them about 40 cents of dollar per minute? It took him only 6 days to do that. This shows that Elon Musk is being really proactive in solving the problems, and now many people love him and are a role model for everyone. The next characteristics that you need to be a successful entrepreneur is a risk taker. To start off, a risk taker is defined as someone who is willing to take a chance on something without knowing whether the conclusions will be beneficial or not in order to attain a goal. In the business world, an entrepreneur who wants to be innovative must be willing to take risks in order to come up with fresh ideas or plans. Entrepreneurs take risks because they are necessary to start and grow a business. Some of the risks an entrepreneur might face include leaving a full-time job and steady paycheck, using personal savings with no guarantee of a return on investment, and giving away time, energy, sleep, and the ability to enjoy personal interests. If I can give you an example, Tansi Tony Fernandez is best known for co-founding AirAsia, the region's first low-cost airline, with Datuk Kamarudin Meranu. Tansi Tony and Datuk Kamarudin famously bought the airline airline for a token 1 Malaysian ringgit and 40 million Malaysian ringgit in debt, turning it around within 2 years and growing it from a Malaysian domestic carrier into Asia's largest low-cost carrier by passenger carrier, with operation in 5 countries serving some 320 routes to more than 130 destinations across Asia, Australia and New Zealand, the Middle East and the US.
Now, I will explain the remaining 2 characteristics of entrepreneur. The first one is visionary. So, what is visionary? Visionary can be defined as thinking about or planning the future with imagination or wisdom. So, when we say, oh, this person is really visionary, what do we mean by that? It means that this person is able to predict or foresee problems they are going to face in the future, which means someone that has vision is someone that has desire to change for the better. For example, Salman Khan, a founder and CEO of Khan Academy. Salman Khan himself never expected to become an educator. He started off by teaching his little cousin, but then started to upload his teaching video on YouTube. Then he realized that a lot of people started to tune in and watch his video. So in 2009, he quit his job and devoted his time in Khan Academy. Now, with the help of Google and Melinda Gates Foundation, Khan Academy has 40 million registered users worldwide. Khan aims to close the gap between wealthy students who are able to pay for tutors and test prep classes and low-income students without easy access to these training tools. In an interview, he stated that we have a mission for a free world-class education for anyone and everywhere. We can see that someone can't want to make education accessible for all, because if we look around us, even though we're living in 21st century, some students still struggle to go to school and some students can't even afford to access to education. Now, let us move on to the last characteristic, which is open culture. Open culture refers to the idea that knowledge should be freely shared and that growth should come from developing, altering, or enriching existing works through sharing and collaboration rather than being constrained by rules related to intellectual property protection. That means, as entrepreneurs, we must have the character of open culture in business transaction. Jimmy Choo is one of the persons who have that character. Jimmy Choo is known as a brand that sells women's shoes. Jimmy started to learn how to make shoes from his father since he was a kid, and that is how he got interested to learn more about shoemaking. So he furthered his study at Cotwainers Technical College in London. Now, Jimmy Choo is famous for handmade shoes and handbags. One of his most special clients, which is the late Princess Diana, she was the one who made Jimmy Choo famous around the world. After that, in 1996, Jimmy Choo, alongside with Tamara Mellon, the editor of British Vogue, collaborate with each other. Through this collaboration, his business showed a lot of improvement and become a brand that is admired around the world. In conclusion, Jimmy Choo practiced the open culture in running his brand. This can be evidenced when Jimmy Choo willing to emigrate from Malaysia to London to seek knowledge and do business in foreign countries.
Right now, we are going to present Vivi Yusof as the inspiring entrepreneur to those out there. To inform you, Vivi Yusof is the founder of Fashion Valet and the Dark Group. There are a lot of characteristics of her that contributed to her successful journey. And firstly, she is proactive in doing her work. Vivi wanted to be an entrepreneur and had the ambition of starting a real estate company. However, she aims to create a fashion business named fashionvalet.net. On a web, local designers sell their work online due to her fashion world obsession and prone purchasing experience for 5 years while she studies in London. When she already had her own business, she was too preoccupied with her daily chores at the office to help her father manage his business deal, so she didn't have time to travel to the mall, causing traffic gridlock in Kuala Lumpur. She has taken proactive steps to discover how she can make purchasing items easier and more enjoyable for herself and also her best friend, which is now is her husband. She also taking proactive efforts by being frugal in their spending and saving in order to build her firm one day. Next, the entrepreneur characteristic that have in Vivi Yusof is an open risk taker. Vivi Yusof is an open risk taker because she spent RM 100,000 of her and Fazza's savings and borrowings. She doesn't care if the money she spends isn't worth it because she believes in herself and takes the risk of borrowing money to start Fashion Valet. They participated in and won a countrywide TV show in 2012 after 2 years on the relatively nascent e-commerce scenes. With the price that provided, they were able to expand Fashion Valet and the show's publicity broadened the audience. With the minimal resources they had to start from the ground up. Meeting local brands on a daily basis and persuading them of this new concept was simple because they were ecstatic about the new online shopping boom and her blog following connected to designers and customers. Their technical difficulty was that everything was outsourced at first, from website design to payment gateway to bulk management and so on. They gained a lot of knowledge and the learning curve was hard. Seriously, it was very hard. After all, Vivi Yusof was finally successful in her journey since she is an open risk taker and does not give up easily until her company became stable.
To continue, Vivi Yusof is also a visionary entrepreneur which made her able to build a company into a worldwide brand. One of the entrepreneurs that fulfill this characteristic is obviously Vivi Yusof, as she is a very visionary person, especially for her company. Vivi took the chance to make a business using the online platform in Malaysia because back when she was in London, she always chose to shop and buy online. She saw a huge opportunities for her to start a business using an online platform since Malaysia did not use the online platform on daily basis during that era yet. During that time, Fazzaruddin Shah Anwar, her best friend and now her husband, is steadily planning an e-commerce firm with her. Fashion has become the first thing that comes into her mind as she loves fashion very much. Their hard work turns out to be a huge achievement for both of them in their life. Their brand is used the whole world and they also ship worldwide. Throughout their journey, it has been proven that visionary characteristics are important for an entrepreneur to be successful and they could dream big if they have their own vision of their business. I would like to say that Vivi Yusof is an inspiring entrepreneur because she instilled the open culture. Vivi Yusof is interested in the evolution of the fashion industry in the United Kingdom and does not want Malaysia to fall behind. Her appearance is always up to date and follow UK's fashion style. Not to mention that UK residents are always known to be proud of their own country's fashion designer. They support locals and buy local product the most. As a result, developing an online buying procedure in the country that at the time was not a revolutionary concept. In comparison to Malaysia, the majority of individuals in the United Kingdom prefer to purchase online instead of visiting a mall and enduring traffic congestion. She is always conscious that the growth of information technology is fast rising as she is inspired by the open culture in the United Kingdom. After that, she finally decided to build a company, Fashion Valley, with her husband and her best friend. During that time, they were able to gather a total of 15 local designers for the first time. Although they do not yet have an office, she aims to present local Fashion Valley designers to the world through open culture. To conclude, for an overall of our presentation, entrepreneurship is known as identifying change, seeking opportunities, accepting risk and responsibility, inventing, bettering resource use, creating new value for customers, and repeating the process. Entrepreneurship and innovation are frequently required for success in sustainable business practices. Companies that modify the way they generate products and services benefit from entrepreneurship. The latter enterprises can employ entrepreneurship to build their brand and become market leaders in doing things that benefit society and their businesses, as well as contribute to improvement in industry practices over time. So in short, to be successful entrepreneurs, we should have those characteristics that have been mentioned in our presentation. Thank you.